Hey guys, and welcome back to an episode of Temple of Kung Fu. As always, I'm your host, the Shaolin Kid, and tonight's tale...
放手报，用不着再掩饰，我认得出是你。面具遮不住你的兽性。
is Human Lanterns, released in 1982, released by Shaw Brothers. And as you may notice, this film's a little spooky. You know, you got... Oh, I don't know if I can show that. But this film's a little spooky. Sorry, guys. Don't take me down, YouTube. Sorry. But, yeah, this is, at least not what I'm used to. I know Shaw have released a lot of movies in their time that they were around. But I never really got to their, like, spooky horror films. Now there obviously were, like, Jiang Shi films, but those were more horror comedies or maybe comedy horrors. They weren't very scary. They were more zany and ridiculous and stupid. This, while still being pretty ridiculous, was kind of dark, kind of spooky, you know, pretty violent and gory with a lot of blood and a lot of, like, murders and dark themes. And so, essentially, this plot is about... like every other kung fu film, it's a revenge story, but from the villain's side of things. The villain is a guy that was embarrassed 7 years ago by the main character. He was embarrassed by him, and they were fighting over the affection of a woman, and the main character won and got the affection of the woman, while the guy was scarred, embarrassed, and lost of his woman who left him. So... or he just didn't get any affection. So he kind of went crazy over those 7 years, and then he became, like, an amazing lantern maker, but he's also a murderer. So he then plots this whole revenge plot to get back at the main character by also not only killing the people close to him, but also, mainly the women close to him, but also fueling the fire between the rivalry between him and another master of, like, a different, like, mansion, I suppose. And the whole film kind of follows them trying to stop him, and, well, they don't know who it is yet. They don't know who it is until the end of the movie. They don't know that it's him, but they're, like, trying to stop the killer, which is him. They just don't know it yet, and by the end of the film, they get into a big... fucking 15-minute long fight that just is so long. And I know this isn't a complaint, but, like, I do like how long fights are, and I like how you can see things, but God, this one kind of waned my patience. I was getting very impatient because of how long that fight was, because I was invested. I wanted to see the villain get taken down. I hated him, and I wanted him to die, and it just kept going and going and going and going, and I'm like, just kill him already. Right? I just wanted him to be dead, and it just kept going and going and going and going, and eventually they did kill him, but, like, not in a satisfying way. Like, he just burned to, like, a crisp off screen, and yeah, I just kind of wanted to see him get, like, decapitated or stabbed or something. I don't know, I wanted him dead, but that's not a complaint. I just was really invested, and I wanted to see the villain get killed on screen. But, yeah, the film, as I said, very dark for, I mean, maybe there are other Shaw films like this, like I said, but I haven't seen any like it. It's very, it's very, very different from the usual Shaw output, and I enjoy that part. I like how bloody it is. I like how dark it is, because I haven't really seen many horror, kung fu, martial arts films like this, because most of them, as I said, are comedies. Most of them are stupid. There's something about this one, like the mask that he wears, the way he kills people, like, it's taken very seriously. Like, this film is a serious movie. Like, it's not, like, very comedic at all. Like, it takes itself seriously, which I can appreciate. You know, I do like the goofy, ridiculous movie every now and then, but I do like a serious kung fu movie every now and then, because it gets me invested. You know, it makes me want to see the villain get taken down. It makes me like, really get invested in the story. What's going to happen next? Who could be the next victim? You know, it makes me, like, feel something, right? Which I always like about a movie. Any movie makes me feel something. And this really, most kung fu movies do get me invested in the story and wanting to see the villain get taken down, because there's something about kung fu films. I've said this every time, but there's kung fu films just write villains so that you actually hate them. Like, I don't know how they do it, but, like, they just make you despise the villain. They just make you hate them. And they do it really well. Like, only kung fu movies can make me truly despise a villain more than they do. And it's magic to me. And this film just, like, got me on the edge of my seat. Like, oh my god, who's he gonna kill next? How are they, like, what are the... Also, I was also invested, what are the lanterns gonna look like? Like, how's he gonna make the lanterns? And the lanterns looked really cool. Like, they were, like, skin lanterns, but they were, like, shaped like the people that he killed, which I think is pretty neat. And it was, like, they were, like, these weird, like, 3D lanterns, and I liked them. And, yeah, man. Well, let's go back a second. I kind of got a little off track. So, back to the dark themes that I mentioned. About those dark themes, what makes it dark is there was a lot of, like, skinning people and cauldrons of blood, like, Texas Chainsaw style skinning people, taking their skin, making them out of lanterns, like, slasher-like themes. Or the villain was basically a slasher villain, and how he was killing people and being all crazy and shit. He had a mask and a costume and everything. He had the whole slasher garb on. And overall, the film, obviously, was very bloody. You know, there was just blood everywhere, skin everywhere. Like, literally, as I said, the lanterns were made out of human skin. And there were, like, decapitated heads on, like, lantern lines. Like, it was pretty good. So I thought that was really, really cool to see, because there's, like, I've obviously seen a few kind of martial arts, like, horror films, but, like, this one's, like, martial arts horror, and to see all this blood and gore in a Shaw Brothers movie especially was really interesting, and I really liked it, because not only was the gore, like, effective, it was violent. You know, like, when he skinned someone, like, it looked good. Like, they actually, I know they had, like probably, like, a latex thing over them, I don't really know, and they had, like, painted flesh on them, but it looked really good. In my personal opinion, I think it looked really good, and, like, obviously it didn't make me squeamish or anything, but I'm like, wow, that's pretty good for, like, what, 1982? Like, really, really good effects, and overall, it just, like, made me wonder, what's the next, like, gory thing that's gonna happen, and I think I was pretty satisfied with how gory and bloody the film was, even though I wasn't really expecting it. I mean, I probably should have, looking at the cover of the movie. I didn't expect it to be as bloody as it was. As I said, I probably should have. But, man, it was really crazy and pretty interesting, as I said, being a Shaw Brothers film. So I liked the film. Now, would I recommend it? I think if you're a fan of slasher films, if you're a fan of kung fu films, you know, martial arts films, I think you would definitely get a kick out of this one. There's a bit of nudity in this, not too much, and there is some, like, you know, taboo themes, but overall, I think if you can look past that, and even that, there's not that bad. It's fine, you can just watch it. There's not that much nudity, honestly. Most of it is, like, covered up. But, yeah, I would recommend it if you're a fan of slashers, fan of martial arts, fan of both, definitely recommend it. And overall, I think I'd rate this film like a 7.5 out of 10. Really, really enjoyable, would recommend it, and, yeah, I think I said what I need to say. Thank you so my piece. So, guys, thanks for stopping by the temple. Really appreciate the support, you know. Come by again whenever I make another one of these. And, so, I hope you guys like this video. Share with friends, subscribe to notifications on, comment down below on how much you liked it. And I've been the Shaolin Kid. Buddha be praised. For sure mending! Teen, teen, teen. I don't know. I'm funny, ain't I? Yeah.